In the cotton fields of the deep south, where the air was thick with humidity and despair, lived a young woman named Elara. Her spirit, though shackled by the brutal reality of her time, burned with a quiet fire. That fire was fueled by love for her younger brother, Caleb, whose laughter was the only music that could momentarily drown out the sorrow of the plantations. They shared a bond forged in hardship, dreaming of a freedom they had only heard of in hushed whispers under the pale moonlight. Their overseer, a man named Master Silas, was a shadow that loomed large over their lives. His heart was as barren as the fields after a poor harvest, and his cruelty was a constant, chilling wind. He saw people not as souls but as tools, and Caleb's defiant spirit often caught his malevolent eye. Silas enjoyed breaking the unbroken, and Caleb, full of youthful hope, was a challenge he relished. Once weltering afternoon under the unforgiving sun, Caleb stumbled from exhaustion, a simple act of human frailty, but for Silas, it was an act of insolence. He descended upon Caleb with a fury that silenced the cicadas and froze the very air. Elara watched in horror, her screams swallowed by the vast, indifferent landscape as Silas ended her brother's life without a flicker of remorse. In that moment, something within Elara shattered, and from the pieces, a cold, unyielding resolve began to form. The plantation owner, a man concerned only with profit and peace among his assets, saw the simmering rage in Elara's eyes. He feared an uprising, a disruption to his cruel order. To quell the unrest and to further subjugate Elara, he devised a plan of unimaginable cruelty. He announced that Elara would be married to Silas. It was a sentence worse than death, a command to bind herself to the monster who had stolen her world. The news spread like a plague, a collective gasp of disbelief rippling through the slave quarters. Forced into a union born from blood and tears, Elara appeared to submit. She moved through the days leading up to the wedding like a ghost, her face a mask of hollow acceptance. The other slaves looked at her with pity, their hearts aching for the girl who had lost everything and was now being handed to her tormentor. Silas, arrogant and triumphant, saw her silence as victory. He believed he had broken her, just as he had broken her brother. He paraded her as a trophy, a symbol of his absolute power. But beneath her placid exterior, Elara's mind was a whirlwind of calculation. She wasn't broken. She was being forged. Every detail of the small, grim wedding ceremony was a step in a dance only she understood. She observed Silas, studied his habits, his arrogance, his love for the fine rum he drank every night to celebrate his own tyranny. She noted how he savored it, how it made him boastful and careless. Hope, a dangerous and forbidden seed, began to sprout in the desolate garden of her grief. On their wedding night, Silas was in high spirits. He drank heavily, toasting to his new bride, his voice booming with possessive pride. He saw only a beautiful, defeated woman. He didn't see the keen intellect behind her downcast eyes or the lethal purpose hardening her heart. He didn't see the years of watching her mother, a skilled herbalist before she was taken, mix remedies from the roots and leaves of the surrounding swamp. Elara had inherited that knowledge. A secret weapon hidden in plain sight. Earlier that day she had slipped away, her hands moving with practiced certainty as she gathered a rare, potent root known in the quiet lore of her people as the silent sleep. It was odorless, tasteless, and when prepared correctly, it could induce a slumber so deep it mimicked death itself before eventually and permanently stopping the heart. It was a poison of quiet justice, leaving no trace, no sign of violence. It was the weapon of the powerless. That evening she served him his rum. With a steady hand and a heart beating like a war drum, she poured the final, fatal dose into his cup. She watched as he drank it down, his laughter echoing in the small cabin. He boasted of his strength, of his control, blissfully unaware that he was drinking his own demise. He spoke of the future, a future she had no intention of letting him see. As the poison began its silent work, Silas's boasts slurred into confusion. He looked at Elara, a question forming in his dulling eyes. For the first time she let him see the fire within her. She met his gaze not with fear but with an icy calm. She didn't say a word. She didn't have to. In her unwavering stare, he saw not a bride but an executioner. He saw Caleb's eyes. He saw the justice he had long outrun finally catch up to him. He slumped to the floor, the final sound a heavy thud that resonated with profound finality. The next morning, when Silas was found, the doctor pronounced it a weak heart, a consequence of his own excess. No one suspected a thing. But as the news spread through the slave quarters, a different story was whispered from person to person. They looked at Elara, no longer with pity, but with a silent, profound respect. She had done the impossible. She had delivered a justice the world denied them. Elara never spoke of that night. She carried her secret and her sorrow with a quiet dignity. Her act was not one of celebrated victory, but of solemn necessary retribution. Her name Elara became a legend whispered in the fields for generations, a symbol of a spirit that could not be broken. A testament to the fact that even in the darkest of nights a single determined flame can burn through the most formidable chains. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more narratives that explore the depths of history and the human spirit. Your support helps us continue to bring these important stories to light.